You are Gollum.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Yeah. Oh, it's just the banhammy.
Look at.
Camaraderie.
It's gone 8 o'clock. Do keep the coppers coming into us this morning. If we have anything that we'll bring our audience in a little bit, will we?
Well, that's your show, man. You work away. You bring them in. You're the man in charge.
Niamh Farrelly, good morning to you.
Good morning, how are you?
How are you keeping?
Good, all good.
Are you on your way to training, or what's happening at this point in your day?
I've just arrived actually at the training ground, so I'll go in for my breakfast now in a bit, and then we'll start training.
So you'll keep the head down and pretend you're just on a call with a mate. There's no media interviews going on over here. I don't need any slack.
Yeah, sit in my car in the back car park.
What's for breakfast for an elite athlete on a Friday morning?
On a Friday morning is just porridge and berries. Nothing too exciting, to be honest.
Sounds delicious.
And coffee.
Come here, you've had can we talk to you a little bit about your own sort of career over the last couple of years before we get into a little bit of the Ireland match? Obviously the fact that you've been playing in Italy was a big reason we wanted to get you on this morning. So you've had Glasgow City and then Parma and London City over the last few years. It's fair bit of movement, I can imagine, even in terms of the impact on you personally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I was in Glasgow that was my first professional contract. So I spent a year and a half there, and went over in January mid-season. So then I was kind of had itchy feet then after that, and I just wanted to move on. I had a background in studying Italian in school and really liked the country, so I really wanted to go there. That happened there, and then things didn't really work out because we got relegated. So then I decided to come back to the UK. Primarily, probably for my own career, just to try and get seen more in the national side of in the international side of things. But so here I am in London City.
That's class, and we'll get into a bit about that and the Irish influence there at the minute. But the Parma move, the studying, could speak Italian post school.
No, not really, but had a tiny bit of a background. But then we got lessons over there, so it was fine when I got into it.
So you're like, right, I need to get over there. How does that work in practical terms, Niamh? Are you onto your agent, or how does that go?
Yeah, so kind of I'm onto my agent. So basically, near the end of the season, you're sussing out clubs that are interested, and then obviously European clubs probably don't come looking for Irish or English as much, because I suppose not many people want to go to a foreign country and stuff like that. So you kind of have to, your agent has to kind of feed into the clubs over there saying that there's someone interested, and then they kind of just scout you, look at your clips, and then see if they're interested. Yeah,
not as you're saying, a beaten path. Like Louise Quinn went to Fiorentina, not a whole pile of others.
No. Steph Roach, I think, was there for a year as well too. I think that was it. Apart from Anne O'Brien years and years ago. But I think we're the only few.
And so they take a look at your clips, and your agent is like, yeah, she's studied Italian. You fit right into your dressing room here. She's ready to rock.
Yeah, I don't think they knew that I had a bit of a background in Italian. But in fairness, my first week over there, I was pretty. I had a few awkward dinner chats at the table with the team because I couldn't string two sentences together, but I got there in the end.
Were you the only non-Italian in the dressing room, or were there others?
No, there was a few. There was about 5 internationals, but they had been in Italy the last 2-3 years, so they're basically Italian.
Yeah. So you have to. There isn't any option here but to get up to speed with whatever's going on in the dressing room pretty quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Which helped. It helped me, because you had to kind of immerse into the lifestyle straight away, so it was easier to learn, I'd say, that way.
I'm sure, even though as you say, Niamh, it mightn't have gone as well on the pitch for the team over there in Italy as he had hoped. I think it was Roy Keane always said that one of his regrets in his career was not playing abroad at some point in his life. I'm sure, even still looking back, still a decision that you stand by, I presume, even from a life perspective, to have that broadening of horizons, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%. And I would never put off going back there, to be honest, because just even the lifestyle off the pitch is just it's class. And actually, now that you say that as well, I've had a few conversations with a few of the girls here in London City, and even the older girls, and they say that's one of their biggest regrets, that they didn't go abroad to kind of a foreign language speaking country. So I definitely have no regrets.
And even aside from the fact that obviously the weather is much better and you get to play football in a far better climate, even the style of play, presumably attitude towards training, formation and style in matches as well is quite different. So you get to, I guess, progress your own footballing brain in a way.
Yeah, 100%. And I think one thing that I noticed even from the first training session was how much more technical drills they kind of do over there. And I think I did improve my game in that side over the year. But yeah, even tactics, obviously, you know, Italians with their defending and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely learned a lot.
Ian Rush saying, I remember we played for Juventus and he said, oh, it's like playing in a foreign country. It's true, it turns out. So on the football side, a bit more work on the technical side. Facilities-wise, Niamh, what was your experience? Having been obviously playing with Peamount, Glasgow, subsequently now with the Lionesses, what was your experience of the facilities around Italian football?
Well, we were very lucky in Parma. We were treated exactly like the men. We were training in the men's training ground. We were given everything they were given. Kraus, who took over the club there a few years back, he's an American owner, and obviously in the States, like women's like football or soccer as they call it over there is the same as the men's, or should be on par if not better. So when he came over, it was actually the first year Parma had a women's team, because he just came over and he says, what's the story, like why don't we have a women's team? And then he just invested heavily into it, and still is to this day. So yeah, we were spoiled kind of over there. I didn't have to lift a finger, which was a bit different from my past experiences, to be honest.
And then the London City move comes up. There's an Italian coach. You're like, the stars have aligned. This is make this happen for me.
Yeah, I actually did think that the stars had aligned. But yeah, so that's why I was chatting to Carolina, and I just said, yeah, look, I understand her kind of style of play because of, you know, maybe I was in Italy, so and her training and the way she likes to do things. I'd say I would have experienced it. So I said, yeah, why not? And go back to the UK and try and get my name back out there again. So yeah, that's what. And I heard obviously there was a few Irish coming with me, so I said, why not?
Yeah. And how long were you there? She's obviously left the club subsequently.
Yeah, she has. She's only left there about, I'd say, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, so I had a good stint with her, but yeah, unfortunately she's gone from the club, so we have an interim in at the minute. So we have 6 or 7 games, and we probably all came in here thinking that we were pushing for promotion, but we're actually in a relegation battle at the minute. So we need to kind of get the finger out, and we've 6-7 games left of the season that we need points in.
How crucial, Niamh, are international ambitions when you're making moves like that? Like when you're making the decision to move to Italy and say you want to get back over to London, so you're in the UK limelight, I suppose. Is that a number one priority? Is it further down the priority list? Or are you just picking a club that's a nice fit? Or like how high up are international ambitions for you in that decision process?
Quite high, to be honest. It's probably one of the first things I think about. Obviously you have to think about, okay, you're getting game time. Like number 2, are you going to be out of the eye line? 3, obviously you have to be playing in a good league. So obviously when Parma got relegated last year, I said there was no chance of me going back into the national team if I was playing in Serie B. So I had to move on. And yeah, so from the start, I think that I would think about that a lot. Yeah, I'd say if you're chatting to any of the Irish girls, I'd say 90%, 95% of the girls are the exact same. Because if you're not playing your club, or if you're not doing well, you're not really going to have a good chance of getting back into the international team.
Like looking at the Lionesses Twitter feed yesterday, there's a lot of tricolours off and around the games. There's a huge Irish influence there between yourself and Grace Rusha and Megan Campbell as well. You know, we straight away rushed to like, oh, it must be great camaraderie and great crack. I mean, in the context of a relegation battle, I presume that's slightly tempered. Yeah,
slightly tempered, but it always is good to have Irish around, because we are just better crack, aren't we? So our dressing room was definitely better than others. But yeah, no, it's good. It's like, it's a bit of home. Like I don't, at this stage now, I'm not really like, don't really get homesick around like that. But it is nice to have kind of your own around you. So yeah, it's a bit different from last year, not being able to speak to people from at the start to have so much Irish around. But yeah, no, it's good.
Eileen Gleeson is somebody you know very well from your Glasgow days. Well enough to drop an old text or give an old call and say, listen, I'm still here, you know.
Yeah, I know. I think I'd say she knows I'm still there, but yeah, I've probably had a slow start to London City with game time, and then I had a bit of an injury at the start of the season as well. So it's up to me really to kind of show myself on the pitch before I give Eileen a text. But yeah, no, she definitely knows she'll probably hear me before she can see me anyway, because I'm a loud one anyway.
Are you someone, Niamh, who uses disappointment to your advantage? Presumably when you get to a professional game, that's an automatic, but for example, the World Cup, not getting a seat on the plane to the World Cup, like, is that something you're able to drop immediately, or do you actually say, hold on, I'm going to use that and almost use it as fuel for your next year or two, I suppose, for motivation?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely fuel. Obviously, when you don't get picked, I think I probably wasn't in the eye line coming down to the last decision, which probably helps me mentally, whereas in other girls getting dropped last second, that obviously would have took a bigger toll on them. So I kind of had more time to prepare. But obviously, when you still see the girls going out, like for the World Cup, you'd give your arm and a leg to be there. But yeah, no, definitely use it as motivation, and you just have to say, look, put your head down and say, the next tournament that comes around, like, I want to be on that seat, and that's the only way you can really look at it.
Talk to us a little bit about what we might expect from Italy this evening. There was put to me by Kathleen earlier, they're a little bit like the French rugby team, not always 100% sure what you're going to get, but I mean, you know, if they play a little bit like they did when they beat Spain in December, it could be a tough night. Yeah,
definitely. I think the Italian national team, it's flooded with talent, but I think they've probably underperformed in the last while. They obviously didn't have the best of World Cups. They didn't get out of their group. They lost South Africa in that crucial game, and then obviously, yeah, they're coming back into form. I suppose they got a good result against Spain in the Nations League. They've good young players, the likes of Dragoni. She's centre mid. I think she's only 17. She's playing with Barca. Not sure she's getting much game time, but she's meant to be the next big thing. Then you have Greggy as well in midfield. I think she's class. I played against her last year in Roma. And yeah, I think same old Italian type of a game you'll play against Italians. You'll have to be careful with the refs. Don't get too stuck in, or you'll be giving away a lot of fouls, because they do like to hit the floor quite quick, which could be frustrating for the girls as well, because I know we're quite a physical team.
And the two Everton players obviously have got a little bit of fair bit of airing over the last, because you know we're more used to looking at the WSL than anything else. But you know, they're not afraid as well to mix it up from a formation point of view. Could be anything from 4-4-2, 5-4-1, 4-1-4-1. They can play it anyway.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see like how they do set up against us, because will they see us? Obviously, we're probably not in the same bracket as Spain, but like, will they see us as a threat? Will they go for it? Will they sit in? It will be quite interesting. And likewise with Ireland, it'll be interesting how they set up too. But I think it'll be a good contest. Obviously you have as well your one Girelli up front. She's has like over 100 caps and like 50 odd goals for Italy, so she'll be a threat. I think Louise Quinn is out, but it was that said that she'll be for the Wales game, or I'm not sure. If I read something about Eileen and said something in an interview about that, but she'd know her well from obviously playing in Fiorentina. Maybe she can give, if she's playing or not, she can give tips to the girls. But yeah, she'll definitely be a big threat. And then Cambiaghi, I played with her last year. She's now playing in Inter and scoring week in, week out in the Serie A. So I think she actually scored against Spain the last day out. So she'll obviously be another threat. But yeah, hopefully be an entertaining game.
Where are the Italian weaknesses, Niamh?
I would like to say, from playing there, I'd like to say going a goal down or going a goal or two down. I don't know if they have the same kind of resilience as us Irish. So I think in that sense, we could get at them. But at the same time, I'm saying we need to be careful in making fouls, silly fouls around the box and stuff like that, because they're not afraid to go down and play the game. So I think that could be a big thing for us as well.
Yeah, we obviously pre-World Cup, when everybody hopped on the bandwagon, when the qualifiers went really well for us in the lead into that campaign, lined ourselves up with some pretty stiff and tough friendly matches. So hopefully tonight is sort of in that same vein of don't take all the easy games and prepare well for the tournaments to come up, and particularly the fact that Eileen's now got the first permanent game and has good clear road ahead of her.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it'll be after coming off like the Nations League with them games. Obviously, it was good to get goals under our belt and stuff like that. But now it's good that we're kind of going to test ourselves now against probably a higher opposition, as these came from the A League and Nations League. So hopefully we hit the ground running, and it'll be a good test. But I'm sure the girls will be up for it.
Yeah.
You mentioned your own battles with injuries, Niamh, over the years, but the ACLs is something that crops up in the women's game constantly. You see it feels like every other week some big name getting ruled out for an extended period of time. Jamie Finn, the latest, with an ACL injury that we've heard of. Can you think of any explanation behind that, or like it must be a serious frustration and issue in the women's game?
Yeah, it's huge. It's awful, and my heart goes out to Jamie Finn, because I think she's probably one of the hardest working girls I know. And after, my heart sunk when I got the news that she didn't get on the plane to the World Cup, and then yesterday in the change room when I seen that she'd done her ACL, I was like, bless her. She doesn't have much luck, but I know that she'll be back stronger than ever. But yeah, there's no really words to even describe it. I don't even know, like, I'm not qualified in like a medical field or to know the reasons why, but it obviously is so much more common in the women's game, and it needs to be sorted out. Like, research needs to be done ASAP, because like you say, like, it's like every week or every other week there's another professional women's player with an ACL injury. So and it can ruin people's seasons and careers, and yeah, so it definitely needs to be sorted, but I don't have an answer as to why it is happening, you know.
Enjoy the porridge and enjoy the game tonight. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much. Thanks, lads, for having me.
Thanks a lot. Absolutely brilliant. To have you on. Niamh Farrelly on the line there, live from the London City Lionesses car park, and coming to a training ground near you very shortly. Look forward to that game tonight. We'll have more reaction to it over the course of the weekend as well.